Let's see if I can recreate this. Let's get some other things first. 718 area code. AC says we'll get to that, back to that. The 718 area code and the exchanges. And one of them began on 9/11. We'll have to get to that. Born on the 4th of July. Already watched that. Nothing much to it. Transfer portal says yeah. So this is what's very fascinating to me. And I want to see what y'all think. If you remember the transfer portal of time, Janus Tenet. The movie Tenet was 10 going in both directions evenly. What do they call those? A paradrome. I'll find out. What did I say? Palindrome. It's called a palindrome. And so the Sator square, and it's all these different words that are the same going backwards and forwards, like opera. And the movie began with an opera. Satyr, rotas, opera. Tenet was in the middle, backwards and forwards, and it's in the middle like a cross. So let me blow that up. So of course it's very tiny, but hopefully it doesn't get too pixelated. So rotas, I don't know what rotas is, but apparently it's a word. And tenet is the one that works in the middle, backwards and forwards. And so it's 10 in both directions. And Janus is the god that sees backwards and forwards. So January 10th, we started doing dates moving, 10 days forward, 10 days back, 100 days forward, 100 days back, and started looking at things that greatly connected. And like when Trump said he had the illness, which was called a corona, which is the outer ring of a total solar eclipse, that was back 465 days. We went forward 465 days and it landed on this past total solar eclipse. So we knew we had something. We really started running with it and going with it. So it was January 10th, 2022. And we chose that date because on January 10th, it's Tenet and it's Janus. So it's backwards and forwards on the month and the day. And by the way, the 465 days, that was October 2nd, the Donnie Darko date, when it went backwards 465 days. So if we go backwards 465, lands on October 2nd, moves forward, it'll land on the April 20th total solar. So there it is. So the 537 does land on July 1st, which is our fake assassination date. When you move it backwards from the fake assassination date, you land on July 22nd, which is 722, which of course is pi. What is pi? Pi is, isn't it 22 divided by 7? Yeah. So it's the date, 722. But when you make it 539 days, when you add it, it lands on the buck full moon. When you go backwards, it lands on July 20th on a leap year, 2020, July 20th on a leap year. The Dark Knight Rises was July 20th on a leap year, 2012. So it lands on July 20th on a leap year. So like we said, he goes down July 1st and rises on the third day. And if you go back and look at the 537, July 22nd, that was something else then. Okay. Yeah. So we took care of that. I need to go to my other item. I'm getting confused. Let's go to the next one. But that's interesting, right? Everything I told you. That was pretty fascinating. 148 days total solars. So we know how there was a massive, these total solar eclipses of 2021 and 2023, and the two total lunars in 2022. So it's 2021, 2022, and 2023. 21, 22, 23. 2022 didn't have any total solars. And I don't think 2021 or 2023 had any total lunars or has any total lunars. Remember the midpoint of last year, August 12th, 2022. It was the midpoint between both total solars and both total lunars. It's 88 days in both directions of the total lunars. It was 251 days in both directions. That's a grand total of 176 for the total lunar to lunar, and 502 between both total solars. It gets better. So I thought, now going back to the transfer portal, it's a series of 37 days that we noticed fascinating items with that transfer portal. And this year's transfer portal that lands the way it lands. Okay, so remember the 37-day progressions. 37 goes into 111, 222, 333, 444, 555, 666, 777, 888, 999. So it's a perfect two progressions of 37 from the total solar to the buck full moon. It's 74 days. 74 days. I thought, well, 74 days after that total solar, we need to go 74 days before the first total solar. 74 days after the last one, 74 days before the first one for balance. You know what it lands on? September 21st, which is a 37 progression from the transfer portal date. When you go back 111 days from the transfer portal, you get September 21st, 2021, which is exactly 74 days from the first total solar. It was on 12/4. Now you're going to go to September 21st. Do you remember the 21st night of September? Why did they pick that date? Here's your perfect 74 days. 37 plus 37 is 74. It's two progressions. It's 1776 in the hours. So that's a big deal. Now you go to this total solar on April 20th. To our buck full moon, when the book of Revelation is opened, and there's your perfect 74 days. He has risen. Satanically, spiritually, from the bottomless pit. Dark night rises, and we saw how it connected because of the transfer portal. Ooh, it's nutty buddy, isn't it? It's crazy. Let's keep going. Now that was it. So what was the other thing I said I wanted to go over? The area codes, the 718 area code. Remember, Porsche 911, Porsche 718. The Dark Knight came out on 718. And it gives you all these area codes with their exchanges. And it gives you the date that they took office. And see this one here, 9/11/1994, New York landline, 78207. Remember, 207 is 119 Donald, Jewish gematria, and 88 Trump and civil gematria, which are the two numbers that they code. And we always told you that the 207 is their number for Donald Trump in a very cryptic way. And it's a perfect match. Also on 9/11, landline 208. Now, the 208th day of the year is 7/27, the length of IPEC goat. That's just trivia. I can't tell you much, We're just busting up numbers is what we're doing. But I just wanted to look at all that. There's a lot there to look at. And nothing in the comments. Okay. Anyway, let me know if y'all find that interesting. You know what I mean? And just click a like. So I just know that that you were able to follow it. The transfer portal of time, I put it in the description of about 4 or 5 videos back. I will put it in the description again. So look for it. And maybe I'll even post it down in the comments so it might even be easier to find. All right. Love you.